Hello everyone and welcome to today's episode of The Corner Flag. We are here with your favorite host, Deshane, and as you can see by today's title, we're just taking a moment to just try and analyze what is going on in South African football, man. Specifically when you're speaking about Sundowns, right? And it's a really concerning thing that's happening at Sundowns specifically, right? So it's a mess, bro. It's a mess. I think it's catching a lot of us by surprise, right? Because last year, they got so many awards. Rulani Williams got Player of the Season. Rulani Mokwena got Coach of the Season. And there was just so many good things that happened. They won the league. They won the AFL. Yes, they did not win the Champions League, but they went pretty far. I think they got knocked out in the semi-final this time around, So there was that. And then now, Rulani Mokwena gets fired, okay. That is heartbreaking. Yes, he was not a perfect coach. He wasn't perfect. He does struggle with his own things that we believe that he could have learned from. We have to take into consideration that Rulani is like, 36, 37, right? He is still a very young coach. He's a very, very young coach. And for his age, he's a magnificent coach. He's a magnificent coach. Yes, he does have a little bit of favoritism. Yes, he can handle some things a little bit better. But overall, we can all understand that one, he's a student of the game. He works really, really hard. He's intelligent and no one works harder than Rulani, right? So it was really, really disappointing from Sundowns' perspective, especially looking at how it happened, losing out on that coach. And as you can see, Mangoba is there, apparently just taking care of the team. And it does look like Steve Kompella is on his way back there as well. So yeah, that's from the coaching standpoint. And then with the players as well, Bongani Zungu, he played well. It looked like he was getting back to his best. And he also leaves, right? So we don't really know what's going to happen on that end. There have been, some rumors about him going to the Gulf region and Saudi and all of that, where the money is. We'll have to see, right? But it was really surprising, man. It was really surprising. And then we have the purchase of Kodisang, which is a good purchase. Don't get me wrong, right? Kodisang is a fantastic player. From Sundowns' perspective, it's a good purchase. Very, very good player. Technically sound. First, the starter player of Sundowns. Fast, dynamic. Yeah, Kodisang is one of the best players that South Africa has, right? But there's no coach there, right? So who brought him in? And then there's talk about the sporting director having a lot more influence in the team than he technically should, bro. He technically should. These are decisions that should be made between the coach, even if he's involved. But there should be a little bit of alignment and synergy when it comes to that kind of thing. So now there's been rumors about the fact that he didn't like the fact that Lorch was there, and after the whole Instagram scandal as well, it just blew things out of proportion, And now we have the purchase of Kodisang, which is a great signing. But if the coach is not there, it's hard to understand what the tactical vision behind it is, So that's the thing. And also from like from just a South African representative standpoint, because we follow stars who are making their mark abroad, right? Kodisang was one of those. He formed one of the small contingencies of players that we have who are making their name overseas, right? So far we have Lyle Foster, who plays for Burnley. We had Kodisang, who played for Morense, which was a team in the top flight of the Portuguese division. Yes, granted, it was his second season with Morense and his first season in the top flight, right? So I really felt like Kodisang really should have stuck it out. Yes, it wasn't a brilliant season last season, but it was his first season in the top flight. So I really felt like maybe he could have just composed himself and given us a little bit more for the upcoming season. But maybe it was also the Bafana thing, right? He was getting overlooked for Bafana when he was playing at Morense. So maybe that might have been one of the things that kind of influenced his decision to come back. And then, when to play for Sundowns, you do have a bigger shot of playing for Bafana once you play for Sundowns. So maybe that might have been the thinking behind it. But from a representative standpoint, it's just a shame, bro. Like South Africa, we have our African players that are playing abroad, trapping like flies, and some of them are not doing so well. Kodisang, we just mentioned, was playing in Portugal. Now he's back. Tashrik Matthews was playing in Sweden. And the thing is, these are young guys, right? Tashrik is 23, Kodisang is what, 24, 25, if I'm not mistaken. Lebo Motiba also, he's unattached right now. Was playing in the French soft life, not there anymore, right? So Cassius Mailula out in America also struggling. So it's like, yo, it's a bit concerning what's happening with South Africans. Yes, we do have a few bright spots here and there. Bobo Ngukuhle is doing absolutely amazing, scoring or assisting in every game that he's playing in now. But I would say that with him, it also helped the fact that he had a coach that believed in him, right? The first season when he played in America, he only had like 3 goals, which isn't a great return, especially for a forward. But the coach believed in him, was there, coached him, told him what to do, and just gave him all of the support that he needed. And then the next season, when Ngukuhle comes back with a return of 17 goals in all competitions, and in this current season, I believe he has about 8 goal contributions in all competitions. So he's doing really, really well. You know, Tekin Tabeleng also coming off of the bench. Olutu Makanya, he's a reserve player, but has been getting game time in the reserve team as well. So it's the state of South African football, especially on an international front, is scary, man. It's scary. And looking at Sundowns and what's happening there, especially because of the fact that they were the example, right? They're the example for what every other South African team can aspire to be, right? Fantastic in your own league, and then you're also a giant on the continent as well. And yeah, I don't know. Even with the things that are happening, a player goes out now, Wazungu or Mendieta, whatever the case might be. We read about it at iDiski Times, Far Post, whatever the case might be. It gets published today. Sundowns, they publish it next week. You know, so these are some of the things that are a little bit concerning, especially from Sundowns and you know the image that they've built up. You know, they're kind of destroying it, and at a remarkable rate. So let's just hope that they won't be affected too badly. And it's a bit scary because Sundowns kind of helps Bafana, right? They form the core of what Bafana is, and the playing style that we employ mostly comes from what Sundowns is doing. So if that is just getting dismantled before our very eyes, yeah. So, you know, yeah, shout out to everyone, man. I'm still a little bit traumatized. This is probably one of the reasons why it took a little bit longer to upload, because I'm still trying to like absorb everything, man. Everything, there's just so much happening. But yeah, we'll keep you in touch with everything that's happening, as you all know. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel as well. We are, of course, on our road to 1,000, so please don't forget to subscribe to us as well. And if you want to get in touch with me, yeah, get me on Instagram, man. I definitely do respond. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, whatever. You can definitely holler at me. But until next time, everyone, I will, of course, see you in the next episode of Corner Flag.